Here we go. So now that we are recording, welcome again to the general membership of the April general membership meeting of the PSA. We have now met quorum. If you have not done so already, please put your name, your child's name, and email address in the chat for attendance. As I just said, this meeting is being recorded. You can view all of our past meetings on YouTube at the link shown here. Earlier today, the minutes from the March general membership meeting were emailed to everyone from Ms. Yesenia Valdez. If you have any questions or concerns, please let us know. Otherwise, they will be hereby adopted. This is just sort of a notice about questions. We definitely welcome questions regarding the meeting. If you have any questions or concerns regarding something that pertains to your specific child or a specific situation that has come up in your child's classroom that might not be, and it's like a question that might not be right for this forum, please feel free to reach out directly to Ms. Perez Hernandez, the principal, Ms. Ramirez, the assistant principal, or Ms. Yesenia Valdez, the parent coordinator, and their email addresses are listed here. Here is our April agenda. So again, welcome everyone. Our president's report is we're going to have a quick couple of quick announcements about photo retakes, a Cocoa and Canvas recap. We're going to talk about the NYCFC Soccer ticket fundraiser, our upcoming game night on April 18th, the PSA expedited election on April 30th, followed by the SLT report, the treasurer's report, new business, which will include Family Fun Day coming up on June 1st. We will talk about additional funding allocations, followed by the principal's report and adjournment. Any questions so far? Oh, yeah, so the PSA election is, we're just going to talk about it coming up. Wait. I'm sorry. But this is, it's May 30th. Yeah. Oh, sorry. The PSA election, I might have misspoken. The PSA election is May 30th. Okay, so then the president's report from me. Okay, so graduation photos and retakes. This is sort of just a recap of everything that's happened. We took photos of all kindergarten and fifth graders in attendance on Wednesday, February 28th. Fifth grade was photographed in cap and gown. Kindergarten, because they have a stepping up ceremony and not a traditional graduation ceremony, and parents had to opt in to choose a cap and gown photo. All the photos have been that the school has received have been distributed. If you have reached out to us about an issue, I know that there was a printing issue for some of the 8x10s, and you would have received a notice if that was a problem in your child's envelope. Those photos and some of the other issues that were contacted, there weren't that many, but I have spoken with like probably half a dozen people. Those pictures are still en route to us. But a survey will go out next week to all kindergarten and fifth grade families, asking if they are interested in a retake. We're still trying to pin down the photo company for a retake day. So far, we only have 3 people who have contacted us saying that they do in fact need a retake. But if you want one, be sure to keep a lookout for that survey. And then we will really push to get a date on the calendar with Life Touch. So Cocoa and Canvas recap. This was our 4th annual family art activity. It was held on Thursday, March 21st. This year we did it hybrid. So we did, some people attended in person and then some people attended on Zoom as it's been done the past 3 years. This year, Ms. Velasquez taught a lesson on weaving. The turnout was a little disappointing because we had several people who responded that they wanted to take an in-person spot. but then they were no-shows, which was kind of disappointing because there was a limited number of in-person seats and we had to close registration. So our in-person turnout was less than we had hoped, and we weren't able to backfill those slots. But everyone who did come had a great time. This is, you can see everybody working on their weaving projects here. It was this cardboard canvas, and then you sort of make a, like turn this cardboard into a loom and then weave yarn through it to make a fabric. And this sort of background image that you see here is actually my son's project because he loved it. So we just want to say a huge thank you for Miss Velasquez. Like I just said, this is her 4th year doing this for us. It's extra time out of her schedule, and she is so generous to share her knowledge and her time, and we really appreciate it. Okay, so that brings us to the PS 376 match day. This is an event / fundraiser that we voted on as a constituency earlier in the year. This is, so I did not know this before this year, but New York City has a professional soccer team, the New York City Football Club, and they are going to be playing a game at Citi Field on Sunday, May 5th at 4:00 p.m. versus the Colorado Rapids. The tickets are $30, which is a pretty good deal compared to like regular ticket price. The PSA was able to get a super good deal by committing to a 75 ticket package. And then we're selling the tickets for $30. $10 of each ticket benefits musical programming for our students. So this is a fun way to have a fun night out with your family, support music for kids, and watch professional sports. Like it seems like a win-win all around. You can purchase tickets at this bit.ly link right here, or you can scan the QR code. For all tickets purchased before April 18th, you are automatically entered to win box seats for a future NYCFC game of your choice. There are 6 seats we have to give away, so we'll be giving away a set of 4 seats and a set of 2 seats. We are also going to be getting a bunch of sort of NYCFC swag for to be raffled off as well. So that I'm actually meeting the rep tomorrow, and he's going to bring our box of treasures. So I know that there's going to be a signed soccer ball in there, and I think there's going to be t-shirts and scarves. So right now, based on the ticket sales we've completed, if you've bought a ticket, you have a very, very good chance at those box seats and or at least a t-shirt. So we would like to get as many people involved. We definitely need to make our $75 or 75 ticket commitment. So please, at this point, share this link with everyone you know. If we hit 75 tickets, they just add more seats to our code. We still get the same like $10 that goes to our musical programming. So there's no way we don't come out on this. So please, please, please tell everyone, come. It should be a fun day. It's Cinco de Mayo at Citi Field. So any questions there? Yes. I don't actually know the situation about parking. I don't know. That's a good question. The 7 train does go right there. So if you're interested in taking public transportation, you know, it's just the cost of a subway ride. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. And that brings us to family game night. So I mentioned that raffle for the NYCFC box seats that will be taking place at game night, which is a week from tonight. It's next Thursday, April 18th. We are going to be, it'll be a similar format to last year where we will be hosting trivia, and new this year is Pictionary. So I think it'll be trivia, Pictionary trivia in the auditorium. Bingo here in room 119 with Jenga, Uno, Pokemon, chess and checkers, and maybe some other odds and ends like Scrabble, Trouble, those types of games, all in the cafeteria. Admission is free. We will have concessions for purchase. We are planning to get Tony's Pizza again, so an upgrade from the Domino's we've gotten in years past or times past. And then we will be having our $2 50/50 raffle. So that's a raffle where you buy a $2 ticket. One of those dollars goes into the pot, and then you know, at the end of the night, somebody walks home, like leaves with a pile of cash. So depending on however many people participate, the bigger the pot grows. I think Mary Louise, maybe you know better, but I think the last recipient like had like a pretty decent prize.
For which?
Do you remember how much the last 50/50 raffle prize was?
The most we've had, I think, was $92.
Yeah, so $92 based on like a $2 ticket. So it's just like another fun way to try your luck. And again, that drawing for those NYCFC box seats will be happening at game night. So you can purchase tickets this weekend all up until next Thursday to still be qualified for that raffle. And then here it is in Spanish. Any questions so far? I see some comments in the chat, or I think this is just people. Yep.
We're just discussing the NYCFC thing.
Gotcha. Okay, and then that brings us to the PSA expedited election. So last month at our March meeting, we talked about possibly forming a election committee, which is what is prescribed in our bylaws. It's kind of a big job. The PSA has done expedited elections every year I've been here, and it looks like that's where we're headed this time again. So the election has now been scheduled for Thursday, May 30th at 6 p.m. It will be in person only. That is actually a regulation of the chancellors, where if you're voting in an election, it can only be online or in person. The online seems like it might be more convenient, but it's actually incredibly complicated because you have to anonymize everyone online, and it takes a long time. And then oftentimes, you know, the spots are uncontested, and so nobody actually ends up voting. So it's actually more efficient to do it in person. It's also nice to get to see your potential candidates in the flesh, see and hear them speak about why they want the position. And it's also just kind of nice to get to meet other members of the PSA, because all parents here are members of the PSA.
So Tiffany is asking, why can't we do it online? More people show up and participate. So people do show up, but some people do, but people don't really volunteer for the positions. And then we end up spending like 2 hours allocating these codes to people for like uncontested. It just is kind of a waste of a lot of people's time, I feel like. And to do this job, you do have to be able to come to the school from time to time. So it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, if you're interested in doing it, like, it's not like we have a lot of people volunteering. So, you know, set aside the time, come show up, you know, if you can be there for the vote, great. But honestly, there's not usually that much to vote on from my experience. Because it seems like only like, you know, it's like one person volunteering and then they don't have anybody like running against them.
Last year we basically she said just that the importance of like being in person to like run. Also last year we had an in-person election, and we had a pretty sizable turnout. Like we had probably just as many people as we had at the previous year's election in person. So you know, like I think if people plan for it, we do get like a good turnout. So the positions that will be available, there's the PSA executive board positions, which president, secretary, and treasurer are mandatory positions. So without those positions being filled, we will not have like a functioning PSA. So it is essential that somebody step up and take those positions. Then we will have SLT representatives. So those are the school leadership team representatives. Those positions are 2-year positions. And I think both of them are coming up. you're an SLT member. And then Karen, you're an SLT member and you have another,
Yeah, I have another year.
you have another year.
Yeah.
So I have to do some checking, but I think we definitely have a 2-year position coming up. And then, but you took over. We'll have to do some checking.
Yeah, one, she has it too. It's the pack. That's gonna pass.
Well, because I thought there was someone who replaced Viviana who was on last year.
That would be.
Is that the?
Fisher, no?
Perhaps.
No, I think because it had to be reposted and you ran for that position again, it's like now a 2-year position. Because there was a vote.
Right, but I thought I think we'll just check. We'll check. So we'll check to see how long the term is. A regular SLT representative term is 2 years. And then the Title I chair position and the co-chair also needs to be filled.
What voted on?
Yes, so we would like to do them all in one go. It's 1 year. It's 1 year. So did anyone have any other questions about the election before we get too far ahead?
And then are like the requirements gonna be
We,
distributed like we apply or something to?
yes. So we will be, once we get like a little bit closer, once we, get past spring break, all of the information about sort of the job descriptions and the duties related to each office will be distributed. You'll probably get like a pretty hefty email about it, as well as most likely it'll be backpacked as well. Okay, so the SLT report, the SLT met this past Monday, and we continue to review the comprehensive education plan that the school has, and that sort of guides all of the decisions that the school makes. There are different guidelines showing progress throughout the year, and so this is kind of the midway point. And this past meeting, Yesenia Valdez, our parent coordinator, presented sort of like the parent engagement component and showing what the school is doing to engage parents. And I know that she is planning a couple of upcoming workshops, I think math and reading. So everyone will be seeing information about that coming out shortly. And then we will have, and then the other presentation was, I just had it in my mind. Oh, the college and career readiness presented by Miss Valley, and she was presenting about different ways that she has equity and inclusion programming. I'm sitting in the PSA room right now, and it looks beautiful with all of the decorations and piñata she's been working on for a Cinco de Mayo celebration that will be coming up next month. She has also been busy at work planning career day. And I know that she mentioned that she will be sending out a call for anyone who wants to, any parent that wants to come in and share their career. There will be a form going out if you are interested in participating as a presenter in career day. And that brings us to the treasurer's report. Mary Louise, are you in a good spot?
Yeah, you might have to unshare and then share again just to see the most recent updates, because I was updating at the beginning of the meeting.
Okay.
All right, now share again.
Hold on, let me X out of this and then. Okay.
I did move the voting stuff down to, I'm just gonna do the treasurer's report right now, right? Or are we gonna do the?
Yeah,
further
it's just the
discussion?
treasurer's report, and then
Okay.
the rest will be presented in new business.
Okay.
Okay,
What's going on? Are you presenting? You're presenting, right?
yeah, it's just
Okay.
taking a second.
Okay.
Okay. You see it loading?
It's loading, force reload. There we go. All right. I think you do slideshow now.
Yeah, I just hit the wrong button. There.
Okay. So, we actually did not spend very much money this month. The only thing that we were planning on spending money toward was the cocoa and canvas, and we were able to source a lot of the things used there from free or donated materials. So, our bank balance currently stands at $5,787.53. We still have $865.36 in petty cash, and I swear tomorrow I'm coming to school to put most of that in the bank. I have been crazy, obviously. In open collective, we still have $523.76, which leaves us at a subtotal of $7,176.59, less the graduation picture refunds, which we still owe $1,326.95. So the available balance is currently $5,849.64. We do have some money coming in and some plans for spending it, which we'll talk about in new business. Any questions? I'm guessing we don't have Spanish speakers today, or?
We took a survey earlier in the meeting and there wasn't anyone at the time.
Okay. All right. Any questions?
Oh. Okay.
Nope.
So new business. So our next big event after game night and the NYCFC game, it will be Family Fun Day. It's our year-end carnival, which will be happening on Saturday, June 1st. It'll be 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the PSA schoolyard. I took a trip over to the precinct, and after speaking with the officer there and sort of like going through like the city's form about like filling out an application to close the street, and sort of just the logistics of kind of ensuring that this event is exclusively for our school community. We've decided that it makes the most sense to stage it the same way we did last year. So families will enter through the front door and then sign in there and then travel the main corridor through the cafeteria and into the schoolyard. It doesn't really make a lot of sense for us to get a street closure permit, because under the restrictions that the city has, we couldn't put bouncy houses out there or music or food, especially as like a separate organization from the school. We can do all that stuff in the schoolyard, and then we can make sure that because this is a free event and we are using the proceeds from all of our fundraising efforts to pay for this for the benefit of our families. We would like to make sure that's who is enjoying it. So we will be having bounce houses again, like we did last year, some carnival style games. We would like to get another entertainer, like we had last year, the stilt walker / hula hooper, right? I think she was a stilt walker and a hula hooper.
Yeah.
We would like to get some type of entertainment like that, or possibly some live music. And then we will definitely have a face painting station. So it should be a good time. Just the way June sort of works out, it's June 1st, rain or shine. Like that's kind of the only weekend, because there's a couple of long weekends in there and then school's over. So we're excited. We will definitely need volunteers. I didn't mention this when I was speaking about game night, but we do need volunteers for game night as well. We need people to sort of like run the games, and then we'll also need people to help with concessions. So if you are interested, please let me know or email the PSA, and we will definitely slot you in somewhere.
Tiffany was asking why we couldn't, for further clarification of why we can't do it in the street. So we can do it in the street, but the deal is it's a lot of extra paperwork to really close it off for the whole day, basically. And they told us that anything that you have in the street, like I think, and Casey, you can elaborate on this, but you have to have like special insurance and stuff. So it really doesn't, you know, it just seemed like a little bit more trouble than it was worth. And if we're not gonna really be able to put anything out there, like we could put some tables out there, or it'd be more room for people to stand. But then the other thing is, you know, just to keep it so that it's our school community, it's not just like a block party and anybody can come. Sort more of a safety issue, we felt better about it just staying in the schoolyard. The
I
same
was
way
gonna
we did
say,
last
because
year.
I remember when the school did the carnivals and they did it in the street, did they really have to go through all those,
I
like
don't know.
all that red tape?
I would
Like,
assume so because it's through the police department,
s-
right?
wouldn't
So,
Miss Badillo know, or like the principal?
so so you can actually, like Google street permits, like NYPD or whatever, and it would fall under a community event. When I spoke with the precinct. And so if you look at the regulations there, if you have any sort of, structure, like a bounce house that is over 10 feet tall, you would need a special permit from the Department of Buildings. If you have any type of concessions on the street, you would need, a special permit from the Department of Health. Like it is, a much bigger undertaking, and there's all these different classifications of events. And so what the precinct is telling us, as a PSA, we would need the, community event permit, and then all these other restrictions come into play. We can ask the precinct to sort of close down the street for like a couple of hours just to traffic, but that would really just give us kind of a buffer so that, like, you know, kids, as they're coming across this, you know, like there aren't cars kind of zipping by as like families are coming in, but we wouldn't really be able to utilize that space.
Yeah, because I feel
Oh.
like they had a bounce house before for the carnival and stuff that the school did. That's why I don't know.
I don't know if these regulations are new, but I mean, this is what the regulations are like, and you can definitely verify them online. Karen, here in
Well, I
person.
used to
has some-
work at the A3, so I could ask the community affairs people. Like, I used to work there for like 10 years, so.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I spoke with the community resource officer in person last week, so I also think that the point about keeping it for our community, and like if you're just having people enter like on the street without like sort of funneling people through the school, like it does open it up to a lot of people who are just like walking by and they're like, oh, that looks awesome, like let's go
Yeah, I mean,
participate in that.
I think it's better inside the schoolyard, but I was just curious as to all the stuff, because I'm like, why can the school do it? And it doesn't seem like it would be, I'm just curious if the school went through all that drama. I don't know. That
I
was
don't
my
know.
curiosity. That was all.
I was-
Mariah said that it could be also that street closures, regulations were
Oh,
altered
hold
during
on just a
COVID.
second. Miss Perez Hernandez has some insight here.
Oh,
The primary difference is that our back to school class that we host every year is not just a PS 376 event. It's a community event. So people from the entire community are able to participate and partake. That puts us.
See, that's what it is. All right. Thank you for the clarification.
Okay.
I mean, I would still think that you'd need the insurance. Like it doesn't really, because it's because if it's out there, like they're
Hold on,
telling us.
Mary Louise, hold on. It's hard to hear, like the online part because it's not like mic'd at all in the
Oh,
room.
okay.
But what were you saying?
I was just gonna elaborate on, before she even, the principal spoke, the key word is community. I'm from the community. If I'm walking by and I see a bouncy house, and what you just described is what's going to happen. What are you gonna do, turn kids away? If you wanna keep it private, you put it in your yard. We put stuff in our yard. When we do community events, block parties, which it falls under, it is open to the community. That's all I wanted to say.
Mary Louise, did you want to add on to that or?
Oh, I was just saying, like, I mean, technically, if we were to have it in the street, it would be also considered a community event. That's why we have to have the community permit. I don't know. I was just saying, Mariah said that some of the street closure regulations were altered during COVID, so maybe they were a little relaxed back then, but maybe they've strengthened them again with the whole insurance thing. I don't know. We just know what they told us, that we were going to have all this insurance and stuff, and it also you know, just the fact that it makes more sense to keep it private to our community, our school community, makes more sense to have it in the yard. So I don't know all the ins and outs, but
Also just, like I said earlier, like financially, we, you know, we have worked hard to make this like a fun event for everyone and we want it to be free of cost to our community, like our school community. And that includes last year, we, purchased 300, servings of, maybe like 350 servings of cotton candy and snow cones. And then we had additional snacks. We had the 2 bouncy houses. But to also logistically, to have the bouncy houses in the street, you need to have a generator, and the generator is an additional $250. And like, then you have to have fuel for the generator instead of just like a plug and play option, which we can run in the schoolyard. So all of those things are factors, and we feel strongly that this is the best way forward. So, okay. So here it is in Spanish for anyone that's helpful for. And this RSVP link is live, but this flyer has not yet been circulated because it's still like a ways out. So you can if you're feeling like really on it, but this is fresh eyes right here. This is a world premiere of this flyer. Okay. And now, Mary Louise, this brings us back to you, and I wish I could make you louder because it is hard
Okay.
for everyone to hear.
sorry. Okay, well, so basically,
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
let's look at that first. Let's look at that one. Okay. So currently, I don't know, go back to the first one. Trying to figure out the easiest way to explain this. There's a lot of nuances. So, you know, we raised $2,427 in membership dues. We had a goal of $2,000 for that, and we had allocated it $1,000 for teacher wish lists, 150 for the craft night, Cocoa and Canvas night, 100 for game night, 150 for dance night, and then 200 for refreshments for meetings. And then there was a 400 miscellaneous, just general like PSA needs if we needed it. And then there was 427 extra that we have not allocated toward anything. We actually didn't spend all of the money allocated, like for the craft night, we basically almost spent nothing. I have not had time to crunch those numbers yet, but so that money is still left over. For the dance, I don't think we spent $150, but so we might have a little left over from that. So there is some funds floating around in there that we could technically utilize toward other things. Okay. For the fall picture day money, you know, we had a goal of $2,500. We only made $1,724, just fine. But we ended up using the majority of that toward a theater light board, and left us with $15, which initially we had allocated that money to the end of year celebration. So to make up for that money, because that money was needed more urgently, we did the Pop and Popcorn fundraiser. And thank you, Tiffany, for the suggestion. You were right. It has done very well. Also, thanks to Tiffany, because they are definitely the top sellers right now. So we had our goal initially was $2,500, and so far we've already raised $3,229. That's profit. So that's awesome. And 2,500 that will be allocated toward the end of year celebration. So we're covered for that. We also had the winter festival. So there is $729 currently, which we still have another week of selling, so we could make a little more, that we could allocate to something else. Winter festival that we had, our profit was $745. We initially allocated that to musical programming. we might have some other needs that money needs to go towards. So that's something that I want to discuss after once I get through this. And then our NYCFC soccer game, which we have a goal of $750. If we sell all of our tickets, we'll make $750 because we're getting, we pre-bought 75 tickets. We're making $10 on each ticket, so that would be $750. Now, we spent $20 per ticket, our out of pocket, which we've already paid for. So 75 times 20, 75 times 20, that's $1,500. So right now we've sold 19 tickets. Times 30, sorry. Yeah. So 19 times 30 is 570. So basically right now we're like $930 in debt right now to NYCFC. So we really need to try to sell those tickets. There was a lot of people who were like, oh yeah, I'll get like 10 of them. And we haven't seen the purchases. So, if you all can share that link, that would be amazing. It's going to be a really special night. They're going to do like a call out on the scoreboard, welcoming the school. We're getting a bunch of free swag. So, we're going to raffle that off at game night. So I think it'll be really fun if we can sell the tickets. We do need to account for the fact that we are less right now, about $1,000. So I don't want to like spend every cent we have, but these are all just things to keep in mind.
Mary Louise, just a point of clarification, the numbers you shared earlier, that includes the amount we've already paid in advance to NYCFC, correct?
Correct. That money has already been spent. So like the 5,000 and change that we have in the bank, like that's already, like that money has already come out. It's not like we owe them, like it's come out. It's technically paid for, but we would have to eat the cost if we don't sell the tickets. So I'm just like, share it with your friends. If you don't want to go, tell your neighbor,
I just want to mention real quick that Karen Garay is here, and she at the SLT meeting this came up, and she very generously took a stack of flyers, and she lives close to a soccer field, and she was handing them out there. She
amazing. Thank you.
She's been passing them around. Like, we would like as many people from the school to go as possible, because we wanted it to be kind of a shared event that, like your kids and their classmates can go and like hang out and have a good time. But at the same time, like, it is a fundraiser for our school. And like I said earlier, the more tickets we sell, the more tickets we sell. Like, we made a commitment of 75 tickets that we had to, that's how we got like the good deal. And then, our name on the scoreboard and like whatever. That's just like that's how the organization sets up their fundraising program. But if we exceed those 75 tickets, like, if you are part of a parent group, you could post on Bush Ridge Parents, hey, like, support PS 376, buy a soccer ticket. All those tickets, like every ticket sold using our link, so that bit.ly link that's 376 NYCFC, those tickets will be flagged with us being as the seller, PS 376, and we'll get a $10 ticket, even if it is like, ticket 97 or 130. So at that point, we would be well in the black.
Yes. So that's just one thing. And then we also have the graduation pictures, which we don't know quite how much we're making from that, but our goal is currently $1,100. That money is allocated toward the K and 5th grade graduation. And we do need about that much, or it's like their meals that we do every year. We do need about that amount to do what we did last year. So that's if we don't make $1,100 from graduation picture day, we will need to allocate money from other places. And then we have these like concessions, general PSA expenses. We don't usually make much on concessions, so it's really just a little startup money for the people for next year, but it's like a couple $100 usually. And then we have our 50-50 raffles, which we initially had allocated the money toward like the teacher appreciation brunch for teacher appreciation month or month, I can't remember. Currently so our first raffle was part of the winter festival, and we kind of allocated all that money to go together because it was kind of like all in one pot. So the raffles that count for this, we only have $89. We need about $600 to do what we did last year for them. For the
Sorry. The movie night, or sorry, the dance night was 60 and the movie night was 29.
yeah.
Okay.
Wait,
And for,
And then the winter festival was $92. That was the biggest pot we had. Yeah, so can you go to the next slide?
wait,
oh, we have a questions.
it's going so fast. So let me try to.
Let
see.
me come back to questions because I want to
Well,
make like I
everybody
want you to
picked it.
see a holistic view. 1 second before you
Oh,
ask
Or should
questions.
I hold
Okay,
it?
Okay.
I'll hold it until I guess she has a summary on the next
No
slide.
problem.
Yeah. So where we're at right now is current available funds, and this is even if we eat the cost of the soccer tickets, we have $5,849.64. That is usable money. 523 of that comes from Open Collective, so it does have to be used in a certain way, but the rest could be technically used for anything. We are expecting already 3,229. I think Tiffany said we might have made a couple sales after I took these numbers, but we do have this money coming in. I'm not sure how fast the check gets written, but that money is coming in. So there is around $9,000 that we are sure to have in hand. No matter what, we do have, so spending needs that we kind of like have to do because this is kind of what we always do. Which we've already allocated for is end of year carnival, $2,500. So we've already got that. $600 for the teacher luncheon. And Casey and I discussed, do we do it as, we got them like a hot meal the last time. It was very nice. It wasn't quite 600. It was like 567 or something. It was very nice. I think that we should still do it because our teachers work hard for us. But we would need to allocate some money from somewhere else because we haven't specifically raised like money to allocate toward it. So we just have to say, yes, we would like to use $600 from our current pot for this teacher luncheon. We want to spend the money basically. And then for K and 5th grade graduation meals, if we do not make the money from the graduation pictures, then we would need to allocate just from the bigger pot to pay for that. So we'll vote on that. Like, do you want to just basically spend this money no matter where, what the fundraiser was or whatever, just like out of our general funds? And even buying that stuff, that would leave us with $4,878. Now, I went through the teacher wish list. This is all coming down to teacher wish list. So we had allocated $1,000 for teacher wish lists. With all of the wishes that we got, the total is about $5,000 worth of items that they need. I don't think that we can probably allocate all, $5,000, but I think that we could allocate more money toward buying some of these items. So that's another thing that we're going to vote on after this is like basically and discuss like how much more money should we allocate toward the future wish list? Is there, do we want to forego, doing some other special musical programming this year? And because we already kind of like spent it toward the musical theater thing anyway, like, what do you guys, I want to know what you guys think. Okay, I'm done. So what are your questions for now? Do you want to go back to the last slide so you can refer to anything? Okay, questions?
50, but you spent.
Sorry, hold on, you were muted. So,
Okay. I want to go back to the NYC NYCFC Soccer game.
Mhm.
The fund goal is $750, but you spend for 75 tickets, I'm trying to follow. You got them at $20, but each ticket sell is 10, correct?
So we make $10. We're selling the tickets for $30.
Right, the $10 is going towards.
It goes to
the
us.
PSA.
So if that's the $750.
So you actually pay $20, that's what you got them for, right?
That was our
Times-
cost.
Times 75 is 1,500, but your goal is 750?
Our $750 profit.
Profit.
We'll make the
Wait.
1,500 plus the $750 to repay ourselves back.
Yeah, if we sell all 75 tickets for $30,
That's if you
that's
sell the 75 tickets.
Yes.
right.
So your goal is 750.
A $750 profit. So like, there's a chance that we don't
Shouldn't
sell.
it be more? Because if you put 1,500, shouldn't your goal be double that?
We
No.
can't,
Okay.
sell them for
I
what?
can't hear.
Okay, so we can't sell the tickets for twice their face value. So
So you're not selling it for twice the space value, but what I'm saying, when you went in, you
Okay.
felt that was a good idea, correct? To do a fundraiser.
right.
But if, this is just me, if it's 1,500, my goal would have been to double that. Because that's how you make your profit.
So
We have to buy
If-
every ticket that we sell, okay? So so we spent $1,500 to buy 75 tickets. We spent $20 a ticket. We put $10 on top of that 1,500 that we have already paid for out of pocket so if we wanted to double, if we wanted to make three, we would have had to double the price of the tickets. We would have had to sell the tickets for $40 each versus $30 each.
so
Right, but it has to make sense.
to
is what
clear-
I'm trying to say.
to clarify, the total tickets we sell, if we sell all 75
Mhm.
at $30 each, we will sell
Sorry, I'm-
$2,250 in tickets. Of that $2,250,
That's the $250, right?
That's
For
the $750.
ticket. Wait,
Yeah, we,
Okay,
1,500 has to come out to pay for the face value that we got from NYCFC.
that's like making us whole. is
okay,
the-
so now we're
Yeah.
here at this point, and the game is when?
May 5th.
It's May 5th.
May 5th, so the window period, you have to sell these tickets. So maybe gotta think of another way.
Another thing that we
Not
can
even
do,
there.
I can,
75. You
I
understand?
can,
Like,
No, trust me,
Okay.
I understand. Like, it's feeling very,
Trying to find a strategy where now, what can we do? Maybe put some tickets in a raffle, something that's not.
well,
as
we do have things in
expensive.
a raffle. We have 6 box seats that are being raffled off. If for anyone who buys tickets before the 18th, we're raffling off 6 box seats that we got for free because we did this pre-purchase thing.
Yeah, we need
So
to do something with these tickets that we're not able to push. You gotta find another way to push these tickets.
we just need people to spread the word. That's how we're gonna push them. I mean,
Okay.
so
what other way?
School have a soccer,
Soccer teams, like maybe,
doesn't the school have a soccer club though?
yeah, maybe he can.
They do, and I've asked Mr. Andon a couple of times to spread the word, so.
Right, they've been on the soccer team all year long. Mr. Andrew has gotten free tickets multiple times across the year and given them out.
Oh,
So now like. I'm a
because
parent,
he's part of,
kid, I'm gonna pay
Opposed to
$30,
paying, right, but I'm just
I
trying to think of a way.
Is that we're gonna have some upcoming Saturday soccer events where other schools are gonna be joining us. And they have not benefited from that partnership with NCF.
NYCFC.
So I said having the sale available during those types of maybe community schools that are teaming up with us.
I think Karen has a very valid point. At this point, we are just a few weeks out from the game. We are looking down the barrel at spring break. I know what people on the call right now are class parents. Like, if you have not posted to your class parent list through WhatsApp about the game, if you haven't encouraged your class to participate, like, now is the time. So please, 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 I can repost it tonight. I know I posted it like a couple weeks ago, but please post to your class parent group about the tickets. Please tell your friends. If you are on the fence, now is the time. Like, we would really like to get some momentum here. I know that I personally am going to, my husband works with a bunch of young 20-somethings, and I am hopeful that they, like, I'm going to be crafting a specific, like, not for our parent community, flyer, being like, hey, are you, like, do you like having a good time and helping kids? Like, that kind of flyer. If you want a copy of that flyer, please please email the PSA and I will gladly share it with you, so you can share it with any work friends, any colleagues, and like, if you want to throw it up on your Instagram, if you are Insta famous, like, by all means, please, now is the time. Because like Karen said, she has a very valid point. We want to be able to pay ourselves back so we can enjoy the rewards of that 750. Also, again, because we went this way, because it was supposed to be a community event, please try, if you can, if you have the wherewithal to purchase tickets, even if you're not a soccer fan. I've never been to a professional soccer game in my life. Like, the last soccer game I saw was when I was 17.
I'm just in it. I'm just in it for the nachos, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's a fun time out in the sun. It's Cinco de Mayo at City Field.
What?
Sorry, say that again, Tiffany.
Are there any flyers posted around the community?
Yes, Karen has been going gangbusters about putting it around. I know that somebody dropped it off at the deli earlier today. We
What
can
about that? You guys don't know offhand, because I know for the polls online, it's you can't see who voted yes, but whoever said that they were going to purchase tickets, did they purchase? Because I know I wasn't in agreement with this, so I'm just wondering, whoever said yes, they should be purchasing tickets.
You know what I think the issue is too, because I like Tiffany, for instance, I was telling about Bushwick High School. I always see them out there playing soccer there, Maria Hernandez Park. So those are the targeted areas.
Yeah, there too. That it could be in the parks too. That's true too. All the places, because I see a lot of I mean, you know, a lot of Mexican soccer players that I see
Right,
in the
exactly.
field,
Okay.
all in the parks. That
Even
would be good places to
J3.
post it for
Okay.
sure, or even reach out to them personally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I love all these ideas. Like, if you guys, you know, find yourself there and can hand out flyers, Karen's already doing it, so that's awesome. Let's just try to sell these tickets, and really, to not be in the hall, we only need to sell 50 of the tickets. So, you know, I mean, it'd be great if we make it this a successful fundraiser, but you know, we have to sell 30 more to make up for the ones that we've already purchased. So, yes, let's do it. And also, we were kind of like not sharing out yet, because we were hoping that we would get more people in our school community, because it's like we have all the seats in the same area and stuff. But now we're like, spread the word, spread it far and wide.
Girl, I would not. I mean, the school community, I mean, I love the school, but the people in the school, they do not participate. As you can see with the Pop and Popcorn fundraiser, we have, I don't even know how many students, and it's like, I think only 10 people signed up. So imagine if everyone actually participated.
I know. Preaching to the choir. Okay, so anyway, the biggest thing here today is the teacher wish list. So there's a lot of things that the teachers have asked for. Some are big items, like Miss Velasquez is asking for a drying rack that's about $400. I think we're still finding out if she's allowed to get it. I don't know. And there was like some gym equipment that costs several $100s. So, you know, we were like, we see that as like a worthy expense, because it's these, especially for the specials teachers, like all the kids go to their classes, and these are things that they'll be able to use for years to come. Some teachers ask for simple things like, you know, special markers for their chart boards and dry erase boards and things like that. So, you know, there's a big range of things that they've asked for. The biggest thing we need to do is just kind of allocate some more money. How much more money do we want to spend toward the teacher wish list? And is everybody okay allocating money from the general fund to cover any money for the teacher luncheon that we do not, and the K and fifth grade meals that we do not make through the fundraisers, because we were actually going to do 2 different fundraisers that would be raised for the teacher luncheon, and then we just decided not to do one, because we did the Pop and Popcorn, and it's like too many things. So, we
Is
need
it
to,
for teachers and staff?
yeah, it's
All right.
I mean, anybody who works in the school can come in and get a plate, yeah.
Also, I want to mention for the K and fifth grade graduation meals, last year we provided a hot breakfast, like a hot breakfast buffet for the fifth graders. It was very nice. We could do something less expensive
Are you
if
guys
we
trying to
don't
get
want
out
to
of here?
allocate other money. Traditionally for kindergarten, we have got them like a Happy Meal or like, I don't know what the Burger King equivalent is, but it's Burger King, being our neighbor often cuts us a much better deal. So that's where we got their meals from last year. So again, like we could go a different direction if we don't want to allocate this $1,100, but you know, that's what's been done in the past, and it does make the kids feel special. It does make, you know, it kind of celebrates this momentous time in their respective lives.
Agreed. I just want to point out when we did hand out the meals and stuff from McDonald's, all the kids were really happy. So
So Casey, I don't have,
Do you want to
the next slide has the questions on it, but I can't set up the actual survey to vote.
okay.
But the questions are, should we allocate more money toward the teacher appreciation luncheon? We currently only have $89 and we need around 600 to do the same as we did last year. And then should we allocate more money toward teacher wish list? Currently, we have 1,000 allocated and the requests total close to $5,000. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, we can also use the 523 from the Open Collective toward like something for the art room or PE, because that falls within like student enrichment, which is what that fund is supposed to be for. So that money, you know, that wouldn't come out of our general pot. That would just come out of that Open Collective money, which we need to spend this year, by the way. So, I mean, this is kind of an open-ended question. I don't have like a yes, like if you guys want to call out like a number you think we should spend toward teacher wish lists and we can just vote on that number, that's fine with me. I think the first question is, can we allocate money from our general fund toward the teacher luncheon, appreciation luncheon, to make up for however much that is, $511.
There will be a little bit to add to that fund after game night because we will be having another 50-50 raffle, but based on sort of what you've seen for the past two amounts, like it's probably going to be less than $100.
Yeah, so I would say at least like we need $500 just out of our general fund to cover that expense. And we just have to vote that everybody's in agreement that we allocate that money out of the general fund.
are you gonna do a poll?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna have a poll.
Yeah, we'll do a poll unless anyone wants to
But-
like.
Let's discuss. This is a small enough group. I feel like call it out and then like we'll vote. And or if you don't feel comfortable, I guess we can just vote. I guess the question is, do you want to allocate $500 from our general fund to cover the teacher appreciation luncheon? That's the question.
I say yes, yes.
Well, how much do we have left to spend? I guess that's the real
So,
question.
Go back to that. Okay, so currently, currently there is $9,078 once we get the pop and popcorn money. Which I'm sure we'll have that by the time we have the end of year carnival. End of year carnival, we have already allocated $2,500 from that. So that's 6,500, right? 670, yeah. And then the things that we don't quite have enough money for yet allocated are the 600 for the teacher luncheon and the 1,100 for the K and fifth grade meals. If we allocate all, you know, if we take the money out of the pot right now, we'll still have 4,878 left in our account. At the end.
So I think we should.
Sorry, Mary Louise, just to clarify, these numbers here are accurate numbers. This is based on our current available funds, which means like if we don't make 1 red cent off of these tickets, like we just have to eat the whole cost of the soccer tickets. This is where we'd be at. we're already not there. We're already doing better than this.
We don't have the
Mhm.
money. The money expected to come in for the pop and popcorn.
We should have it by the carnival.
Oh, okay.
Right now, the money that we have available to spend, if we were to write a check today, is $5,849. Which we still could cover these expenses with that, so.
I mean, you should definitely use open collective money. Sure.
That money is included in the 5,849 number, yeah. So I was.
Teachers and staffing is good, and then do as much as you can for the teachers' wish list, because we have a lot to spend left. That's my opinion.
Okay. So we already have $1,000. Oh, actually, I should have put that on here. So there's $1,000 that we had already planned to spend. So really that would be only 3878 left. So do we want to spend another 1,500 toward the teacher wish list? Plus the open collective, which would be around $500. So that's really 2,000. So 1,500 cash and then the open collective. And that would be $3,000 toward the wish list total.
Did you, I just want, because it's hard to hear, I'm just going to restate that for everyone in the room. So where it has these line items about spending needs, we've already allocated $1,000 to teacher wish list. So there should be an extra line here that says minus $1,000, which would bring the current like spendable balance to 3878. That's correct? That's what you were saying, Mary Louise?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I was multitasking when I did this.
This is the new business. This is the crux of the meeting right here.
Oh, Mary Louise, and don't forget to add the Zelle money, whatever you got towards the pop and popcorn.
Yeah, that's in the available funds. It's
Okay.
in there. Yeah.
Karen, what was your question?
Oh, no, this is, a question about the graduation. I know that that PSA wants to give 1,100 towards the graduation meals.
So it's basically like 500-ish per, so kindergarten and then 500-ish for 5th grade.
Okay.
And this is based on what we spent last year.
Yeah,
So
it
we
could
would
be
basically
more. I mean,
the reason why I'm asking is because, fundraiser or for the with Gladys, right? What is that? A fundraiser meeting? Anyway, moving
the
forward.
5th grade dues.
Yes, I think that's for for the 5th grade, for like the. next
Senior
grade,
dues.
yeah.
Mhm.
And the question that I had was, cause I don't know about 5th grade parents, but they were saying how the kids just stand around, and I was asking about entertainment, but Gladys said that they're not allowed to get the entertainment unless it's DOE, but the PSA, there's a way we can go around it with you guys to get the entertainment for the 5th grade graduation. Is that something that could be voted on?
That is something that could be voted on, and since that is something we would have to like price out to like vote on, because like just like with all this stuff, we have to kind of have a ballpark
Cause I
estimate.
have someone and you have to act fast, but it
What
has
is-
to be collectively voted on, I understand.
So the question is like, could the PSA potentially fund some type of entertainment for the 5th grade prom?
Yeah, I mean, maybe we would do that instead of the meals, I would say.
They're included, right? Or no?
No, kindergarten, they do their own thing. We usually just have we have Burger King meals for the kindergartners, and the 5th graders got a brunch. But
Yeah.
I mean, if you wanted to allocate that $500 toward entertainment at the prom instead,
So what Mary Louise is saying
you
that
could
if
propose that.
we could do an allocation for the $500 or like, I mean, potentially, I feel like all of this is kind of theoretical until we know like who the
Right.
entertainer would be and like how much it would
Well,
cost.
I have someone in mind, a company in mind that's great, with the kids involved. However, June is right around the corner and they book fast.
Yeah.
So this is a conversation, I guess, for the fifth grade parents, which is, so there's 5 classes, is it 5, fifth grade? So it's something that they should be able to.
Yeah.
Do you know the
Okay.
cost? Do you know the cost off the top of your
Do you,
head?
do you know
Yeah, it's
the,
gonna be at least 1,000.
Oh,
But you're getting a full package of entertainment. I think I have to go back to, I get the information to Gladys and she
Mhm.
passed it back to me and said, present it to the PSA.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. For me, I feel like, we're already dedicating $500 to the fifth graders. And that's only a portion of our school. So I think that would be the max I would prefer to spend for that, for something, a treat for them.
Okay,
So-
hold on just a second. I'm just gonna summarize because you're very,
Muffled.
so, what she was saying is like, because like the goal of our spending is to benefit as many kids as possible and we're already,
You got the fifth grade,
allocating,
those are the kids.
yeah, so we're already allocating 500 for kindergarten, outright for 500 for fifth grade. So we could possibly reallocate, instead of doing the brunch, we could allocate that $500 that we're giving to fifth grade for entertainment. Or we could even like maybe vote to say like kind of TBD. So like maybe the entertainment happens and like the fifth grade parents can raise the balance for the entertainment. If they can't, we'll stick with the brunch. I think, but I think like for the PSA, like if we could somehow make the entertainment for the whole school, like then maybe we could figure out a way to like
Okay. I see
carry
what
the
you're saying.
cost, because then all the kids could see it, similar to how we did the little Mozart performances last year, because we, raised money for musical programming. That's something that based on our survey results, people felt very impassioned by.
But that was only brought up because the fifth grade graduation is their prom. This is their sending off, and I understand that, I don't even know how much they spend on decorations, but a fifth grade prom, you want a big blast. You want the kids to be, involved, something memorable.
Right.
So that's something that I guess, like you said, if they can get 500 and the parents can match that.
But this 500 would then be in lieu, like there would be no brunch, but that's something that the
parents
fifth grade,
can also
that's something
put
that
that out too.
I think that works, like every class is different. So if the fifth grade parents want to do something different with this allocation, like basically we're saying as our, parent
it.
community, like $500 for the fifth grader. So, Mary Louise, what do you think of that as a possible proposal? Is that the fifth grade $500 might not be a meal, and like we will sort of like revisit it at the May meeting.
Yeah, I think that's what we do. I mean, we say, I mean, I think that the money is already allocated toward a celebration of some sort. So I think it's kind of open-ended. It's not necessarily about meals. That's just what we've done before.
Okay.
So yeah, I think, Karen, if you can get together with other parents and see if y'all can make up, you want to get the entertainment and you can make up for that other 500 or whatever, then
So, basically what she's saying is that that $500, while it says meals here, that's just because we've traditionally done meals, but it's really dedicated to like celebration for fifth and kindergarten. So like fifth gets half of it. If you should, as like a delegate to the fifth grade parent committee or whatever, or you are the delegate, Diane Peterson is the official delegate here. You should. What? You should work with the fifth grade parents that you're already in contact with, and then come up with a proposal, and then at the May meeting, we can vote to like support your proposal and like but like it would be the $500.
So I think we can, revisit what the money is actually spent for. It'll be fifth grade somehow. We can revisit next month if you want to talk to, parents and see if this is something that everybody wants. and can make up the cost. If not, we'll still plan to do the meals, no matter what. Like if it doesn't get spent toward this entertainment, then it can go toward the meal. So we've got that money set aside for them, no matter what.
Okay,
Uh,
assuming that we're going to like, because we have to vote now to,
To allocate the funds that are in our general fund right now.
yeah,
towards
so
that.
out of this
I was gonna
38,
I was gonna ask you a question. Can we allocate some funds towards ice cream day for the school like we did in the past? Because everybody really liked that. Because everybody at least got one, ice cream, and it
Yeah.
wasn't that expensive either.
Yeah. Do you remember how much it was?
I feel like maybe 500 something, or less than that. I don't remember, but
Yeah,
it's in.
it wasn't that much. I remember it not being that much. Yeah, we can vote on that now if you want to make a survey.
okay, I'm just putting, less $1,000 teacher wish list.
Yeah. So sorry, forgot about that. That is already a done deal, so. And the
Okay.
2,500 is a done deal. We do need to, and we know where that money is coming from. The 600 and the 1,100, we just need to vote to pull that money out of our, it's $500 out of our general fund to cover the money that we did not raise in the initial fundraiser. And then, sorry, I lost it since you went away. Oh, the 1,100, that will also come out of our general fund, and we just need to vote on it coming out of our general fund and not be expecting to use the graduation money, the graduation picture money for it. And that money can be allocated towards something else later. It's just not a sure thing, so.
Okay, so I'm going to do create a poll based on this. So the first one is, teacher luncheon, right? Our teacher appreciation.
Yeah. I'm gonna switch to my phone, okay?
Okay, is it just teacher appreciation, or does it include, all of the things on that slide? Like basically using funds from our general, like,
I mean, you could make one survey. I didn't make a survey, so you can make one survey that says,
okay, does anyone on the call want to make a proposal on how we're going to, like an amendment to be, or a motion to be passed? So an option could be, we propose that these shortfalls shown here, so, the $2,500 end of year carnival, we've already agreed to fund out of the pop and popcorn, but the $600 teacher luncheon and then the $1,100 K in fifth grade celebration, I guess we'll call this celebration.
yeah, take off meals.
Celebrate.
I propose we fund those from the general fund.
Thank you.
Okay,
I
great.
second.
Okay,
And- All right,
so
so that's one vote. We have to vote. And then we'll do a second vote about teacher wish lists. Maybe for the teacher wish list vote, we just do a poll of how much,
okay.
like, do you want to spend 500 more, 1,000 more, 1,500 more?
And we gotta add the ice cream day there too.
So 3 polls. All right, I'll be back on in a second. I'm gonna switch to my phone.
Okay.
These people probably want to leave, and I'm loitering. Okay. All right.
And then are we doing the ice cream in this one too?
What, from the available funds you're saying?
Yeah, so out of the 3878, it'd be from the, well, I guess we have to what did you say the amount was for the ice cream that you remember in the past?
I think it was like 500 something.
Was it like actual ice cream or was it like
Yeah,
popsicles?
some arenas. Miss Badillo has the contact.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it sounds to me like we need to price that out and decide that on the next meeting.
Right. It's ice cream and like popsicles and all different kind of, it's ices and ice cream.
Based on what's been going on with the DOE vendors, I agree that we need to price it out with the vendor before we vote on it, because this was a thing that came up with the SLT and with Title I. The DOE and the city really is requiring that the schools only use DOE vendors. And it used to be that like you were encouraged to use a DOE vendor. You could go on their website, price out pencils and be like, oh, well, these are crazy expensive. Staples has them for like 20% less. I'm going to go ahead and order from Staples. That is no longer an option. The schools have to go with the DOE vendor, even if the price is crazy.
Yeah, that's a vendor. And you have all the information in the past. Probably even if you look in the emails, it should be there as well.
Right, but a lot of the vendors that from the past have been dropped, and like just with the Title I funds that we had this year, we had approved an $800 bulletin board that in the time that we voted, from the time that the purchase order was placed, that vendor had been dropped, and the price of that same bulletin board from the only other vendor that the DOE approved was $400 more. So it's that kind of those kind of shenanigans, and it's really a city issue, and I'm like so tempted to like call Brian Lair and be like, can somebody look into this? I feel like we really need to price out the ice cream thing and vote on it at our May meeting, which will still give us time to have like an ice cream social for June. But I don't want to vote on it without having like an actual price attached.
I would say just ask Miss Badillo then, because she has the information.
Okay.
The PSA has to go with the DOE vendor, from my understanding, I thought it was the.
No, that is the school, but she's saying that Miss Badillo had provided that information in the past, and like that was like the best price. The $500 she's quoting is from like a past ice cream social. So instead of just like I think to be safe, we should just price it out and then vote on it at the May meeting, which I think the May meeting comes up pretty early in the month anyways.
Yeah.
So then we'll still have plenty of time, and maybe we get like a real upgrade. Maybe like, you know, Costco's having a Haagen-Dazs sale, and then like everybody's.
You don't have to go with them, correct?
We don't have to go with them.
Okay, so that makes sense, because there's a bunch of ice cream places and
Absolutely.
ices that you can get tubs of.
And fifth and okay, so this is how I wrote it out. It is agreed that the shortfall for teacher appreciation breakfast and fifth/K celebrations will be funded from the PSA general fund. So as in times past, it is agree, disagree, or decline to answer. Sorry, everyone has to watch the sausage be made here.
Wait, so we're not putting a specific number down, just if we're gonna take it from the available funds?
So, like we said earlier, we're going to have the game night, and so the game night is going to be, those things contribute to those year-end funds. Like, the number presented today doesn't include whatever we're going to make at game night.
No,
So
I'm saying, are we gonna figure out how much we're gonna put towards the teacher wish list and the luncheon?
oh, the wish list is separate. The luncheon is a total budget of $600. So it's basically like
The $600 is for sure. We're just trying to figure out how much we're gonna allocate from the funds towards the wish
okay,
list.
so going back here to this form, like and I don't know, I know Mary Louise is in transit. She's been on a photo shoot all day, but she was saying that our allocation.
Yeah, would be 1,000 and we wanted to make it go higher, right? Wasn't that supposed to be the poll?
That's for teacher wish list. This does not have teacher wish list. This is just about the breakfast and the fifth and K celebration. So the fifth and K celebrations were to be funded by graduation pictures. Based on what I've seen from graduation pictures, and I don't have hard numbers, I don't think we're going to meet the $1,100 goal. So we would have to make up the shortfall if we still want to do that from our general fund. Same with the teacher appreciation breakfast. We had decided at the beginning of the year that we would fund it with our 50-50 raffles. That was a new fundraiser to our community. And while it's sort of built a little steam, it's still like less. Our total for that fundraiser is $89. I don't think $89 would buy you 3 Entenmann's at this, what things are costing these days. So the proposal is to sort of make up the difference, and we're going to have another 50-50 raffle, and we could I could be pleasantly surprised and call Life Touch tomorrow and they have their report ready and they're like, oh yeah, it is $1,100, and then we're golden. But if it's not, then we would have, based on this calculation that Mary Louise put together, these spending goals take so even after you take out the $1,000 teacher wish list, which should have been included here, these are allocations that we said we wanted to do at the beginning of the year. We would still have $3,878 that has not been allocated to anything. So of this 3,878, we can do an ice cream social. We can contribute more to teacher wish list. We could potentially get some sort of musical entertainment.
If you guys did spring pictures, you would have definitely met your goal.
Sorry, say that again.
If you guys would have did spring pictures as instead of just K in 5th grade, you would have definitely made that goal for the pictures.
Okay, well, we
Yeah.
chose not to, so and what's
I'm
done is
sorry,
done.
I have to leave the meeting soon. Can we launch the polls?
Yeah, so I'm now launching the poll. Everyone will have online will have 2 minutes to vote.
I'm here too.
Okay, so we're launching the poll. And then everyone here in person, if you agree that the shortfall for teacher appreciation breakfast and 5th and K celebrations will be funded from the PSA general fund, please, if you agree, please raise your hand. If you disagree, well, that's unanimous. It is unanimously decided with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people voting in person.
Vice President.
I wish and a junior vote for the agreement. So with a unanimous vote of 12 in agreement that we've agreed to fund the allocation of those 2 things. And then sorry. And so the next question is about teacher wish list and how much of the $3,878.64 we would like to allocate towards teacher wish list. Right now, as it says here, we've already allocated $1,000. If we got everything on the list, which to be honest includes a lot of Swiffers, and I personally feel like I'm sure those cleaning supplies would be nice, but they're not really durable goods. I would like to see us gift things that are more lasting and that as many kids as possible can benefit from them. So, a classroom set of headphones, specific teaching tools that have been requested, that type of thing, as opposed to those other things. So going through, we could cut out a lot of expense there. And then there's another category of things the school can provide. So all in all, it's probably about $4,000 total. But like I said, we've already allocated $1,000.
Can I propose that we allocate 2,000 additional to the teacher wish list?
Okay, did you? So there's a,
2,000 on top of the 1,000?
yeah, so it'd be 3,000 altogether.
And could 500 of that come from, be our open collective money? So it would be 1,500 from general fund, $523 from the open collective, like basically everything we have in the open collective.
Okay, so the
Does that
proposal,
work?
Or it goes to things that are necessary, like the thing from Miss Velasquez or whatever, like private
Correct.
stuff, right?
Yeah, it would be paid to pay for that.
okay, we have, what's your question?
My question is, me and some other people here feel like we should have a meeting talking about the fifth grade parents, with the fifth grade parents, talking about what's going on with the fifth grade things and with the trips and all that, instead of just putting everything together.
I absolutely agree, although there aren't a lot of fifth grade, I mean, there's not a ton of fifth grade parents represented here, but I think that's something, is it Miss Torres? I know she's helping out with the, so I think Miss Torres and Miss Cuomo are the sort of like the fifth grade representatives, and I know Miss Badillo has been working closely with the fifth grade, so I think that would be a great thing for them to help you organize a meeting with the fifth grade parents and present some of those ideas. And then we can talk about at our next meeting, perhaps you would like to come and you can present what the fifth grade would like to do for with that $500 that the PSA has already set aside for your celebration.
But if we have some parents come in and have a letter sent out in person instead of Zoom, so that a more understanding, it would be better.
Okay, so let's put that together. No, I'm serious.
No,
Tomorrow
that's
I'll
okay.
be available. We'll put the flyer together.
Casey,
So
I'm
I
sorry.
just wanted to let you know that Diamond Peters, or sorry,
No,
Leah Peterson, our school's vice president, our student body vice president is here, and she had some very insightful suggestions about fifth grade plans, and so that's, if you couldn't hear, that's what was happening there. So it was the motion was made that we would add $2,000 to the teacher wish list. We haven't voted yet.
Oh, okay.
So of that $2,000, it would really be Mary Louise, it'd be $1,500 out of this 3,800.
Let's say I propose $1,500 from the general fund and $523 from open collective that would go toward teacher wish lists.
Okay,
So
but
that is a total of
total-
$2,023
the
Wait, on top
total,
of the 1,000, no?
on top of the 1,000 that's already
Okay, so
been
for
allocated.
clarity, the 5,849 at the top for current available funds, that includes the open collective, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it'd be 2,000.
Got 1,500 from general fund.
Okay,
So out of the, if we all vote to do the teacher luncheon, the $600 and the $1,100 out of the general fund, and we're left, and then also less the $1,000 that's already been allocated and the 2,500, we have $3,878 to pull from. So my proposal is we will take $1,500 cash from that general fund, which would leave us with 2,378, I think that says. That would leave us with that balance, even
just
if we
tell me
took that.
the open collective amount.
It's 523. If you go back up to my treasurer's report, you'll see the number. It's 523 and 76, maybe, I think.
And for everyone
Yep.
about the open collective, we you've only typed that number like 1 million times. Open Collective is our fiscal sponsor, and they're actually being dissolved. They're dissolving themselves. So we have to spend this money because like they as an organization are going away. So it is proposed $1,500 of the general fund plus the $523.76 balance in Open Collective will be allocated in addition to the previously allocated $1,000
So each year,
toward
$1,000
Last year it was $500 and then we upped it this year. But then we sent out a survey to all the teachers and then the teachers were like, hey, you're actually gonna do a thing. You bought us stuff last year, and more teachers responded, like a lot more teachers with like a lot more stuff. And that's how we're here. And this, I think, Karen had mentioned that at SLT, it came up that there could be potential budget shortfalls where some of the kind of like niceties that would possibly be provided in the budget. You know, all the stimulus money has been exhausted. The city, like Adams, he's talking about lots of budget cuts. Nobody's seen what the budget numbers look like for next year. So it is nice that, like, since we have it now, to give this money to our teachers for supplies that they can potentially use for, you know, hopefully years to come. I hope that giant ball lasts for a decade.
Yes,
Mr. Andon wants a
yes.
giant ball.
It does look very fun though. I would totally play with it.
Yep.
Okay, let's vote. So, cause I think people are having to leave. So
Yeah.
let's vote. Okay.
I'm typing as fast as I can. I'm not a very fast typist.
Thanks for bearing with everybody. You know, this financial stuff always takes some time.
How many students are in the school?
It's Miss Perez Hernandez says it's 550. It's, yeah, about 520.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so, okay, now we have a poll and I'm going to launch the poll. So again, it is proposed $1,500 of the general fund plus 523.76 balance in open collective will be allocated in addition to the previously allocated $1,000 toward teacher wish list. So everyone at present, if you are in agreement, please raise your hand. So the total would be
The total that they would get would be
3,000. Yeah.
2376.
So this wish list comes with when the kids return to school, and you know how the teachers usually send home, you know, stuff they need for the class. We shouldn't not have to.
I would like to say that that's not.
Not for 3,000.
Okay, so sorry, I'm gonna count again in person. So if you agree with the proposed, okay. So that's, again, unanimous in person. So we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6, I would love, but sweetheart, you are not eligible to vote because you're not a parent. Your time is coming. You're doing the good work. So 6 plus 8, we have 14 voting in agreement, and that is passed. So hooray. Okay. At long
Yay.
last, here's Miss Perez Hernandez.
Wait,
Thank you.
we were supposed
Oh.
to vote, or did you vote before
No, we
I came
voted.
back?
It's done. We're all in agreement.
Okay, everything. We're spending the money. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Okay. So here's Miss Perez Hernandez.
Okay, so I really, good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone online. I just want to remind everyone that coming up next week, we have our much anticipated musical theater production of Annie that our very own Mr. Pruitt and the theater club, we have one participant here tonight with us, have really been working very hard to pull off. And I will tell you, as someone who hears the echoing, it's sounding pretty amazing. So that will be taking place next Tuesday, Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. And then on Thursday, the showing will be at 9 a.m. Since it is our first like real musical theater production, we're giving 2 nights to it to allow for more parents to, you know, have some time in their schedules to attend.
My question is why we doing 2 shows? Why we can't use one of the shows?
Oh, we are to the soccer game.
No.
Oh, sorry.
selling tickets to Annie.
Yeah, come out, when you come out to see it.
So
But
we
that can help, that money can help also with, you know, what we need.
fundraising
Yeah,
for the musical theater program.
All these shows we don't have twice in a
Yeah.
row, during day and night, we had a lot of parents.
And that's
That money could have been
a
somewhere.
great thing, but we do want to be mindful of our community, and it's not always easy for people to shell out money and purchase tickets, and we do want our families to support our children. So we've made the decision that we wouldn't sell tickets, and you can't sell tickets to children. Children always have to have free minutes. I know, yeah. Adults, you can technically sell tickets to adults, but we decided to do different funding sources. So there'll be a donation box. The photographs were taken of the cast. So USB drives with all the photographs will be sold. So there's going to be different selling options to raise donations. We thought that would be, we felt that parents would appreciate that more than having to buy a ticket to come and see their own child perform or see someone else's child perform if their child is not in the performance. So that's why Mr. Pruitt went that route, but there will be different options for donating. They most certainly did. And believe me, that was part of the conversation, because many schools do charge like $2 a ticket for an adult that wants to
No
go.
question, why y'all don't exempt these kids who walk to other schools and to show what they do?
We typically we can showcase them through like CEC events that are held at our school. Like we'll typically have them come and perform a number from a variety of different shows. But we really haven't gone out to other schools. And we really haven't been invited to take our show on the road. And I mean, you wouldn't really invite yourself somewhere. You would accept an invitation that somebody like gives you to perform at their school. But if anybody invited us to perform at their school, I would be like, sure, no problem.
Well, we got invited to the Brooklyn Borough Arts Festival thing.
Oh, that's totally different. That's Brooklyn Borough Arts, we actually submitted an entry and they selected us. So that's something that the students will be going out for. Because that's like a community-based event. Absolutely, Miss Cortez, you're 100% correct. So our children will be performing there this year.
When we're gonna go to the Brooklyn Arts Festival, is it gonna be the team, us, their team and other teams?
No, so the submission was, I think, a clip from the Annie submission. So from my understanding, it's the theater production of Annie that will be performing at the Brooklyn Borough Arts celebration. Yeah, because you have to submit and then you have to be invited. Yeah, or selected. So hope to see everyone next week. I really think it'll be a great night and everyone have an awesome time. I also would like to kind of give some good news. There has been a little bit of movement in our auditorium upgrade grants. And I want to thank everyone who has really helped us with this endeavor. I know we've gotten emails from Ms. Tellers, Ms. Frida, Ms. Fisher, and I know Ms. Desinez Rodriguez and Ms. Johnson reached out to DOE. And I guess as they started getting more correspondence, we had members from SCA, that's School Construction Authority, and they're the ones that are responsible overseeing any type of construction at a school level. And they sent technicians on site who surveyed our auditorium and noted obviously all the areas that need repair and what would go into the scope of that project. So that's typically the beginning phase in the process. Once they take all their measurements, they then take it back to their planning team, who then draft out sketches. After that stage, they come back, they have a meeting with me, they present their sketches. And then we negotiate and I want this, I want more of that, so forth and so on. This is what your budget covers. And then it goes back to the team and then you typically get a construction date. So that's really promising, the fact that at least they were here on site, checked it out. That also means that then they've located the grant, right? And that was the big missing component. So things are starting to get underway. Based on where we are in the phase, it would probably be somewhere between next spring and summer that construction starts, but this was really promising. So thank you so much to everyone, because I don't think we would even have gotten this far if it was not for everyone's help. So thank you so much.
You don't need any more letters, Ms. Perez? You
I'm sorry, Ms. Cortez, say that again?
don't need any more letters then?
You're more than welcome to keep sending them so that we can keep reminding them that we're here.
So
I will
what
gladly
wait,
forward
what
it.
else you need to be said in the email, and I'll send you an email.
Typically, just like, you've been to recent shows that we've had, and how really the poor quality of the auditorium, uncomfortable seating, poor lighting, poor audio really made it a difficult experience and didn't allow your child's talents to shine, or the other children's talents to shine.
That was perfectly said.
Thank
Thank
you.
I'm gonna send you an
Well,
email.
while the production and the performances were top notch, the children were not provided with the adequate tools to
Absolutely.
perform it as best as they could.
Exactly.
Something like that.
Thank you, guys. And then I just wanted to share some upcoming events, because like we're at the end here of the year and it gets real busy under like a real short period of time. So this upcoming Wednesday, the 17th, will be our last Parrot CrossFit session. Unless someone can convince Mr. Henson to do more. It has been a huge hit. So we just want to remind all parents, even if you haven't joined all the other sessions, feel free to hop in and join this one. Everyone is welcome. Our CS Friday for grades 3 to 5 for April will be next Friday, April 19th. Please come out. Our kids really love to kind of showcase what they're doing with computer science. And we are the School of Technology, so this is something that we really want our parents to understand. Some people feel like computer science is this big, like mystifying thing, and it's really not. And when you see the students engage with it, parents can get involved. It kind of helps demystify that. Our school survey has been extended to April 19th. So if you have not submitted it, we please ask that you do so. Ms. Yesenia will have tables set up during the Annie production. So please, feel free. Brighter Bites will also be here on April 19th. So if you're going to join us for CS Friday, you get a little perk. You get to get into Brighter Bites a little earlier and get your bag. So you could grab your kid at dismissal and head on out. Staff Appreciation Week is May 6th to May 10th. Just for any parents that may want to send in a letter or have their child do a card for the teacher, that's always really nice, and it makes them feel valued and really special. I know everyone works really hard, and we want to make sure that, that they know that. So we just want to share those dates with you. Our New York State math exam is May 7th and May 8th. We're going to have a Mother's Day workshop led by Ms. Yesenia on May 9th. Our May SLT meeting will be Monday, May 13th. And we're starting to go into our end of year CEP development phase, where we start drafting next year's CEP. So there'll be a lot of work kind of going on with that. Our New York State Science written exam is from May 15th to May 17th. And that'll be our 4th and 5th graders, I think, taking it this year. And our career day is going to be, Saturday. I don't think that's correct, but it will be May 22nd.
That's my birthday, so I would know.
It's a Wednesday. I apologize. I'll update this and send it back to Ms. Fisher-Bear. So it's Wednesday, May 22nd. Ms. Valley is the one that is coordinating the career day. She did an amazing job last year. I've seen the plans already for this year, and it's really looking great again this year. I do want to let everyone know, though, that our parents are invited to be guests for Career Day. So if you have a job, a career, something that you would like to share with our students, we invite you to reach out to Ms. Valley and come join us that day and speak about, what was involved in the preparation
what are the job duties that are entailed with it. We really want to make sure that our students have a wide array of experiences and options of what they can pursue later on in life. And just some upcoming additional events like May, June-ish. We're going to continue to have our CS Fridays for the K2 and 3-5 bands. Our STEAM Expo, our annual STEAM Expo is going to be a little different this year. It's going to be 2 days. I want to say either June 3rd and 4th or June 4th and 5th. The first day is going to be an evening session. You know how we usually have had like that May parent conference where it's like, oh, what to know about up next year, what's coming up next year. Well, they haven't really been well attended, and I know why, because you sit through the same thing come September, right? So you're just like, oh, I'll wait until September and I actually get to see who the teacher is next year. So we decided to do something a little different this year, and that May conference is going to be the parent STEAM Expo night, so that all parents could come in and see the projects that the students created. And then the next day will kind of be the students visiting each other's projects. So we're going to actually have a parent night for the STEAM Expo. Based on the parent PS376 parent surveys, the majority of parents said they wanted to see math and reading workshops held so that they could help their children. So those will be coming across the month of May and June. What I am asking, because we've had several math and reading workshops already. We want to make sure that we're really tailoring what we're offering to parent needs. So we got some great ideas and suggestions during this Monday's SLT meeting, but any parents out there that maybe want to tell us what topics are of interest to you, or any particular areas in math or reading that you would benefit from more workarounds that we could support you with, so that we could tailor those workshops specifically to what your needs are, that would be welcome. Please feel free to reach out to Ms. Valdez, our parent coordinator, because she's in the process of organizing those. And in addition to the Mother's Day celebration, we're going to have a Father's Day celebration. We're still nailing down the date for it, but it will be in June. So coming soon, we'll be celebrating our fathers. And that's pretty much it for my principal's report tonight. I don't know if anyone has any questions.
There's a couple things in the chat. I don't know
Oh.
if they're relevant, if you want to look that open.
I have a question, Ms. Perez.
Has said career day. Eden loved it. That's great.
I have a
yeah.
question. Sorry. I noticed well, my son told me that in the bathrooms that he noticed that there was like profanity and drawings and crazy stuff in the bathrooms, like graffiti that children are like putting there. I was gonna ask you if maybe you guys could check that situation out, because like they shouldn't be exposed to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, usually when we get a complaint from students about like something not being appropriate in the bathrooms, we close the bathroom, and then our custodian goes in and, kind of like tries to de-graffiti the area. If it is still up, I would say let us know because, we want to make sure that that's cleaned off, and that you're right, as few children are exposed to that as possible.
Right. And just the last thing about like the heat in the classrooms, are they allowing them to open the door and the windows? Because I feel like I asked, because sometimes my son's like, I feel like I'm going to pass out. And I'm like, well, did you tell them to open the windows? Because I told them before, like, remember we had this conversation before. I was like, well, the principal said that they could open the windows and open the door. So why aren't they doing that?
I could follow up with the classroom teacher, but 100%, all the windows are accessible and are able to be opened and closed. So if it's too hot in the room, a window can be opened. Doors can be left open. Most teachers leave their doors open. And also if it's uncomfortable in the room, like call us downstairs. We'll have a custodian go up and check, the vent. Sometimes it's throwing out too much air and it just needs to be adjusted a little bit. Sometimes if it's like ridiculously hot, we could turn off the unit and turn it back on.
But definitely like let us know. There are times that I walk into a room and I'm like, it's too hot, and I'll have somebody come up and like take care of that because it's not comfortable.
Right.
And it can't, like, you get nauseous, you get headaches, you
Right,
get
yeah.
nosebleeds.
Yeah, he'll complain to me about that, and I'm like, well, did you, you know?
Yeah, and sometimes like I know I have problems with my hands. So if it's too hard to bring down the window for a teacher, our custodians go up and help. So they'll open a window for someone.
Right. And is it possible too if they could allow them to use the bathroom individually as well? Because I heard lately they're not letting them because they were getting in trouble or something. I don't know, but I feel like that's gonna cause an issue if somebody actually needs to use the bathroom and they're not allowed.
Yeah, I heard the same thing, and our kids are in the
So
same class.
that is a safety protocol. Students should not be going to the bathroom by themselves. Students should always go to the bathroom in pairs. They're supposed to sign out of their classroom when they go to the bathroom. And part of that is, God forbid, something's to happen to the child in the bathroom. There's no one there to
But
get
think
any
that
type of help for the
I think
child.
they're just not letting them go, except for
Not
at
that-
like times when the whole class goes.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, no.
And-
So we've been back, like, I hear what you're saying. So there was like a litany of back and forth. I mean, it was being abused, right? The bathroom privileges. So they are being bathroomed as a class. That does not mean, and teachers have been informed of this, that does not mean that if a child has to go to the bathroom, you don't let them go. No, that's like common sense, right? You could be bathroomed. That's not the time you
But
had
that's the thing,
to use the
unfortunately,
restroom.
they're not letting them go.
No. So we'll speak to the teachers because that was made very clear and I was there when that statement was made, like you're bathrooming them as a class to minimize the in and out of the classroom. Because I mean, we've got some students that are going to the bathroom 4 or 5 times in a 3-period session. Like that's overuse, right? That's an abusing the privilege of using the restroom.
Or unless they have diarrhea.
Well, and then listen, like, let us know if you're not feeling well. Accommodations will 100% be made. But yeah, there are times you need to use the restroom outside of your classroom's bathrooming time. And, that has to be respected and honored as well. So we'll follow up and we'll make sure that,
I mean, and maybe if you could even speak to the specialty teachers, because I know Miss Sauchley, she don't like to let the students use the bathroom either. So
absolutely. No, we'll speak to the whole staff about it.
thank you.
Yeah. No
Great.
problem.
Yeah, James was like, yeah, we're being punished because a couple of people got in trouble. So, I see Yolan also said there had been cockroaches reported in the bathroom. And, we talked a little bit about this when we had the admin meeting, but just want to make sure that, the school is getting cleaned properly, because I've also spotted a mouse before. It seems like a lot of teachers are asking for Swiffers and things. So I just don't know if things are getting like cleaned as well as they could be. Even in the PSA room, we've had to ask for them to come in and like mop, and where we've noticed stuff in the floor.
If there's any issue with something not being cleaned, and our staff knows this, they take a picture, they send it to us, and then I escalate it up to Mr. Fitzpatrick, our custodian. And like we follow up that way. If there's something in the PSA room, like, something spilt, they're supposed to spot mop on the spot if there's a spill. But other than that, they have a schedule, right? Because they're totally different union and contract than we are. So they have specific, like written into their contract, specific times that they're responsible for mopping. They're supposed to dust mop, which is like a dry mop every single day, but mopping is not part of their contract on a daily basis. But if there's a spill, it needs to be mopped. So if that's not happening, then definitely, please, I always ask for a picture of it, and then I escalate it, and it does get taken care of right away.
What is the extermination process for
The
rodents?
exterminator comes, I
pets?
believe, twice a week, and he checks
week?
like the bait traps and, makes adjustments based on whatever they're finding in those bait traps. However, if you've spotted something, you let me know. Again, I escalate to Mr. Fitzpatrick and he can have the exterminator come in or request for an exterminator come in outside of that bi-weekly schedule.
I mean, it sounds like they might need to like do some roach bait or something, because in the bathrooms, especially because there's people are saying there are roaches in the bathrooms.
Oh, roaches are a little different than the
Yeah.
like mice.
Yeah. So maybe that's something just
This has been a pushback from when I was president. Mr. Fitzpatrick, it was a whole back and forth with that and the mice and the roaches and this and that. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I will say it's gotten 100 times better with like the mice situation than it was like 3 years ago when we were in COVID and, you know, they were eating in the gym, eating in the classrooms, eating everywhere. We've really tackled that down and clamped down, and now it's not as big of a problem, but nonetheless, like, right, if you're seeing any kind of a roach, any kind of a mouse, it's not a comfortable situation and it's not something that we want, and it does impact and disrupt students. So we definitely always escalate to him and like get on top of that.
Okay, one last question. Do you know if the water fillers are working? Like is there one on each floor or something? And
I know
are all
for
of them working?
sure the water fillers on the 2nd and the 3rd floor are working. I was up
Okay.
the whole day today because of testing in the hallway, and students were in and out filling their water bottles. So the ones on the 2nd and 3rd floor are working. I could double check the one on the 1st floor. I don't really think many of our kindergarten and 1st graders use the 1st floor water filler much. But I could double check that.
My son had just said that they weren't working, so I was like, maybe you're not doing it right. I don't know. So I was just curious if you knew.
Oh, Miss Fisher Bear said the 1st floor one is working because that's where she gets her water for coffee from.
Okay, well, James needs to just work a little harder at getting his water.
I'll double check though, just to be sure. But I know I saw them today filling up those water bottles. They were cute. Any other questions?
Okay. Woo.
Oh, sorry, Miss Fisher Bear.
So I'm just going to jump in with, for the few that are still on, the in-person crowd is getting restless. Everybody's coats on, purses on shoulders. So I'll go through this super quickly. I do want to say very quickly, I learned at the SLT meeting that those reading workshops where it was talking about phonics, that's phonics for all grade levels and all levels of ability, which was news to me. It wasn't necessarily communicated or I didn't understand it when it was presented on the flyers, but those workshops, Miss Perez Hernandez sort of gave a rundown of what those reading workshops were about, and I felt pretty bad. I missed it. So something to keep in mind if like you're contemplating making the time for one of those. Anyhow, PSA upcoming and reminders. There is no fundraising meeting for April because there is the Annie performances next Tuesday, which is when our regularly scheduled fundraising meeting is. We are also having game night. We're running right into spring break. So we'll just reconvene in May. The family game night, as I said, is April 18th. So a week from tonight. If you are interested in volunteering, please email the PSA or you can throw it in the chat and we will slot you in for either a game station or, you know, more hands the better, as always. The NYCFC game, please, please, please tell everyone you know, spread the word. If you can, please buy a ticket or, you know, a couple tickets so you and your kid can come. I know my family's going, Mary Louise's family's going, Yolan's going. We're all pretty excited. It'd be great to see you there. The teacher appreciation breakfast, which is now fully funded. It won't just be a sad couple of Entenmann's, will be Monday, May 6th. The general membership meeting for May will be Thursday, May 8th. We'll do some research on how much ice cream costs for the school, and that will be something we'll add to our agenda. There's also the possibility of some 5th grade allocations, like maybe they want to do something else with that money. That's TBD. The fundraising meeting, as I mentioned, for May will be Tuesday, May 14th. The PSA expedited election. If you are interested at all, and even the kind of like tiniest little bit, please, please, please think seriously about running. we need to fill the president, secretary, and treasurer position so that we can have a functioning PSA. Without a functioning PSA, we literally can do nothing. Like you can, it is prohibited under the chancellor's regulations for the school to spend any PSA money until it has a functioning executive board. All the descriptions will be going out next month, and you will see them both in email and backpack. And then Family Fun Day is scheduled for Saturday, June 1st, rain or shine, and it will be held in the schoolyard. Again, we will need volunteers to work game stations and possibly snow cones, cotton candy. We'll probably need a bounce house bouncer or two. So if you have a dad who would like that job, by all means, let us know. We'll be sending out like a more formal sort of volunteer sign up for that, I believe. Any questions about any of those things?
Nope.
Okay, great. So thank you everyone for coming. I know this was a long meeting, but getting through all that voting for like funding, it makes a big difference. Now we can do a lot more for our teachers, and they kind of keep this place going. So thank you so much for taking the time, and have a great night.
Thank you.